Victoria Ashford adjusted the servo assist device on her left wrist, the micro servos whirring as they recalibrated. The marble bathroom of Chateau Blanc restaurant was pristine, every surface reflecting soft LED lighting she'd helped design 3 years ago. Ironic that she'd be here now, not as the celebrated engineer, but meeting a blind date she didn't want. The device clicked into place. Better. Not perfect. Her left side hadn't been since birth when oxygen deprivation damaged her motor control, but functional. Her reflection showed navy dress accommodating her shoulder asymmetry, minimal jewelry, makeup drawing attention to her eyes rather than the slight droop at her mouth's left corner. Her phone buzzed. Richard Hartman, board chairman. Preston Blackwell arrived. Remember, stability matters to investors. As if building a $500 million company wasn't stable. As if 37 patents weren't enough. But she wasn't married, and in venture capital, a 36-year-old disabled woman without a husband was a liability. Victoria made her way back, gait careful. The slight drag of her left foot was barely noticeable if she concentrated. The maitre d' Philippe smiled with what might have been sympathy or pity. Table 7, Ms. Ashford. Preston Blackwell looked exactly like his portfolio photo, mid-40s, silver temples, workout sculpted. He stood, his eyes flickering as they registered her limp and device, before snapping back with practiced politeness. Victoria, lovelier than your photos. The photos her board selected from her good side, where she looked normal. She sat carefully, positioning her left arm where the device could support it without being obvious. Thank you for meeting me. Never too busy for beauty. Richard says you're brilliant, though. Challenging in board meetings. The first cut. She'd disagreed with Richard's expansion strategy, proven with data why it would fail. Being right when powerful men were wrong was its own disability. I prefer thorough. Preston ordered for them both without asking, sea bass, though she was allergic. She didn't mention it. Everything was a test. Tell me about your company, he said, though he'd have read the investor packet. We develop adaptive technology for motor function differences. Our flagship, the device on your wrist? Clever, making yourself the test subject. I've used adaptive devices since I was 3. Lived experience made sense. Still, being your own primary market must be limiting. Hard to be objective. Her left hand tremored. She reached for water with that hand, a small defiance. The glass slipped. Water splashed across the tablecloth, catching Preston's sleeve. Jesus Christ, he snapped loudly. Conversation stopped. Can't you? He caught himself. Accidents happen. But Victoria saw diners register her device, her careful posture, her trembling hand. I'm sorry, she said, hating herself as her speech slurred slightly when upset. This is ridiculous, Preston stood. They set me up with someone who can't even hold a glass. What am I supposed to do with this? Victoria started to stand, but her left leg buckled slightly. Where are you going? Preston blocked her path. Limping away won't change what you are. He stepped back and imitated her gait. Exaggerated, cruel. Someone laughed nervously. Someone had their phone out. Please, what? Pretend this is normal? That Richard didn't try to pawn off damaged goods? Look at her. She's like a broken doll someone dressed up and... His hand, swinging theatrically, caught Victoria's face. The slap was loud. Later, he'd claim accident. But Victoria saw the calculation, contact with plausible deniability. The blow sent her falling. She couldn't catch herself. She hit the marble hard, her device skittering away, breaking. Oh God, she fell. Someone help. She's having some kind of episode. Philippe appeared, apologizing to Preston for the disturbance, promising to handle it. Staff formed a barrier as Victoria struggled up, face burning with humiliation. We have a private room, Philippe murmured. You can recover there. They hustled her away. The last thing she heard was Preston explaining how unfortunate it was, how some people couldn't handle normal situations. The private dining room was dim. They brought her broken device, offered ice, then left her alone. Victoria sat trying to repair it with shaking fingers. Her phone buzzed. Richard. Heard there was an incident. Preston says you had an episode. Board meeting tomorrow, 8 a.m. She wanted to scream, but her left hand wouldn't cooperate, and her right was needed for repairs. She'd been CEO an hour ago. Now she was just a disabled woman alone, trying not to cry. 40 minutes passed. The door opened. Instead of Philippe, a tall black man in chef's whites entered. "Excuse me, I'm Jerome, head chef. I was just—" He stopped, taking in the scene. Victoria alone, broken device, fading mark on her face. His expression hardened. "That's the Servo Assist 3000? My son uses the same model. The main servo's cracked, but auxiliaries are intact. May I?" "Your son?" "Marcus, 14, on the spectrum. Helps with fine motor control for math. Kid's a genius with numbers, but holding pencils steady is tough." Jerome examined the device with unexpected precision. "We spent 3 months learning it together. You know this device." Marcus took it apart 4 times. "The manual's terrible. We watched YouTube videos from some engineer in Japan. Takeshi Yamamoto. He's our beta tester." Jerome looked up sharply. "You're Victoria Ashford. The Victoria Ashford. Marcus wrote his science project on your neural response patent. He worked more carefully. The servo should hold. Temporary fix, but it'll work. You haven't eaten. The sea bass was problematic. Allergic? Unless someone told Philippe to ignore your restrictions. Power play. He understood. Not just the device, but the game. I could make risotto. Comfort food. Kitchen's mostly closed, but I have a station. I couldn't. I'm on break anyway. Checking on my kids in the staff room. 3 kids. Marcus, Keisha's 10, wants to be a doctor, and Elijah's 18 months, my nephew but mine in all ways that matter. You bring them to work? Babysitter canceled. Single parenthood. Matter of fact, no self-pity. 15 minutes? Jerome returned with wild mushroom risotto. Behind him, a girl with cornrows carried water. This is Keisha. Keisha studied Victoria intensely. Someone hit you, like those kids who tried to hit Marcus. Keisha, it's okay. You're observant. You'll make an excellent doctor. I know. The man yelling earlier, Preston, he complained last month about Marcus using the regular bathroom instead of handicapped. Said it was disturbing. Jerome's hand clenched. You didn't tell me. Marcus handled it. Recorded everything. Sent it to the man's employer with discrimination law notes. Got an apology. A teenage boy appeared, tall for 14, tablet clutched, fingers tapping repetitively. Dad, I finished. Oh, you're the Victoria Ashford? You created the neural response system I wrote about. His words rushed, hand flapping with excitement, stimming. That's right. You understand the neural response system? I reverse engineered it from patents, but how do you account for conductivity variance based on skin temperature? Marcus, let Ms. Ashford eat. It's fine. We use dynamic baseline recalibrating every 12 minutes, but the trick is predictive algorithms anticipating environmental changes. Marcus lit up. So it learns. I hypothesized but couldn't prove it. The learning function isn't in public patents. Cool. Marcus breathed. Show her your app, Keisha said. Reluctantly, Marcus showed his tablet, a security interface aggregating feeds with pattern recognition. I'm testing it here at the restaurant and wait, this timestamp, tonight. His fingers flew. Suddenly, Victoria saw herself. Preston's hand in motion, impact crystal clear from multiple angles. He hit you. Everyone just watched. Can you save that? Jerome asked quietly. Already uploaded, encrypted, time-stamped. Admissible as evidence. Victoria felt tears threatening. This brilliant boy had handed her proof. Why did he hit you? Marcus asked directly. Because I'm different. Some people fear different. Like Preston feared me in the bathroom. Fear makes people mean. Dad says fear makes people stupid, Keisha added. Despite everything, Victoria laughed. A cry came from the hallway. Jerome returned with a toddler, Elijah. Bad dreams, buddy? Elijah peeked at Victoria. Hi, she said gently. I like your elephant. Emmy, he announced. He pointed at her device. Owie. No, Owie, it helps. She demonstrated, waving her fingers. Like magic. Magic, he reached for her. May I? Jerome transferred him carefully. Elijah patted her face over Preston's mark. Owie. Yeah, Owie. He kissed her cheek solemnly. Better. Victoria's eyes burned. This family had shown her more care in 30 minutes than her board in 5 years. You mentioned Preston. Was he business? Jerome asked. Blind date. My board thinks marriage would make me seem stable to investors. Because assault screams stability, Keisha said dryly. They want me controlled. A disabled woman running tech makes them nervous. Jerome's phone buzzed. Mrs. Chen, our neighbor. Hello? What? Someone called asking about me? If I had children? Work hours? Preston, Victoria said. Got your name from the restaurant. Her phone rang. Richard, what did you do? Preston says you attacked him, that you're unstable. Emergency board meeting. He hit me. He says you fell. The board meets 8 a.m. tomorrow. He hung up. Tomorrow they'll remove me, Victoria said. No, Jerome said firmly. Marcus, pull up everything on Preston Blackwell. Already on it. 3 harassment lawsuits, 2 restraining orders, SEC investigation for market manipulation. His ex-wife's divorce filing documents, physical abuse, Marcus continued. How did you... Medical billing codes cross-referenced with newspaper dates. It doesn't matter, Victoria said. The board won't care. Then change their eyes. You're an engineer. Solve the problem. This is bullying, Keisha interrupted. Stand straight, look them in the eye, make it more inconvenient to bully than leave you alone. Victoria's mind raced. The SEC investigation. Any major business move would be scrutinized, including forcing a CEO change. He's heavily invested in MedTech Solutions, our competitor. If he controlled our board... Market manipulation, Jerome finished. Marcus, can you... Already compiling relationship maps. Preston's brother-in-law is MedTech's CFO. We need someone who can act tonight, Victoria said. My ex-wife's brother is FBI Financial Crimes, Jerome said. An hour later, FBI agents swarmed the restaurant. Agent Harrison explained, We've been building a case. This gives us final pieces. Will it be public before tomorrow? Victoria asked. Dawn raids. Media loves those. Preston entered in handcuffs, saw Victoria, raged. You think you've won? You're nothing, a crippled nobody. As they dragged him away, Victoria felt victory. Philippe appeared, apologizing. Victoria demanded public apology, donation to her foundation, accessibility training, and Jerome promoted to executive chef with flexible hours. Or I call the Times about how Chateau Blanc treats disabled patrons. Executive chef immediately, Philippe agreed quickly. Richard called, screaming about arrests. I've saved the company from hostile takeover, Victoria said calmly. The board's missing 3 arrested members. I have votes to appoint replacements. I'm thinking diversity. A chef who understands adaptive technology, a brilliant teenage coder, maybe a future doctor. 8 a.m., right? She hung up. Elijah fussed. Victoria held him, and he settled. You reorganized my life in an hour, Jerome said. Complaining? Observing. Executive chef won't pay enough to fight millionaire in-laws in court. Good thing you'll be consulting for my company. Adaptive kitchen technology. Plus stock options. You made that up. Making things up, then making them real is literally my job. I want an internship, Marcus said. You're 14. So? I'm smarter than half her engineers. Part-time junior developer position, Victoria offered, but finish high school. Deal. Keisha, too. I want a shadow at your therapy center, Keisha said. Done. And Elijah? Jerome asked. Chief Morale Officer. They smiled at each other. Victoria felt belonging. It's late. Can we give you a ride? They took Jerome's van, battered Honda with car seats and medical textbooks Keisha was reading. At her penthouse, they walked her to the lobby like a protective brigade. Thank you, Victoria said. Thank you for fighting back. We needed to see that. Marcus stepped forward. You're the first adult besides Dad who talked to me like I'm smart instead of broken. You're not broken. Different isn't broken. Tomorrow, after your meeting, win or lose, we'll be here, Jerome said. 8 a.m. Wish me luck. You don't need luck. You have evidence, law, and superior position, Marcus said. And us, Keisha added. Victoria's penthouse felt empty. She checked email, 17 board messages, 3 reporters, her mother. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number, but Marcus's tablet preview. Dad doesn't know I have your number. He's stress cooking, made you lunch. Keisha drew this, the drawing. Victoria as superhero, servo assist glowing, standing over mean bored people. Miss Victoria is brave. From Dr. Keisha, future. Another text. Dad reading SEC filing. Says, go for the throat. Metaphorically. Elijah won't sleep, keeps asking for Toria. Tell Elijah I'll see him tomorrow. Tell your dad that's exactly my plan. Dad wants to know food allergies besides fish. No allergies. Don't like bell peppers. Dad says bell peppers gross anyway. He smiled 17 times tonight. Doesn't smile much since Mom died. Victoria stared at the text, chest tight with hope. Her phone rang. Jerome. Sorry, Marcus was texting you. It's fine. How's stress cooking? He told you? They're worried. It's how they show love. Your best is extraordinary. People expected me to be less intelligent because I'm a chef, less capable because I'm black, less worthy as single father. I forgot I could be more. This is happening fast, Jerome said. Too fast? You're worried I'm rebounding. That when adrenaline wears off, I'll disappear, leave you explaining why the lady with the robot arm doesn't come anymore. Yes. You fixed my device with the same care you make risotto. You see me, and I see you. So yes, it's fast. But I've made rational decisions my whole life. They led to Preston Blackwell. Point taken. Give us a chance. After tomorrow, when the world isn't ending. World's always ending with 3 kids. Then I better get used to it. Okay. At 7:47 a.m., Victoria entered the boardroom flanked by Anita Chen and attorneys. 3 empty chairs marked arrested members. Richard sat purple with rage. Before we begin, I move to address the 3 elephants not in room because they're in federal custody, Victoria interrupted. I present evidence of Preston's hostile takeover attempt. For 40 minutes, Victoria destroyed every argument. She showed connections, manufactured instability, actual numbers, record profits, innovations, changed lives. I'm restructuring this board to include actual users. Parents of disabled children, people who see our mission beyond profit margins. Ridiculous. Boards need business experience. Like experience that led to federal custody? Her phone buzzed. Marcus. Dad's hearing in 20 minutes. Hurry. According to bylaws, I can appoint temporary replacements. I'm appointing Dr. Sarah Chen, James Morrison, Margaret Yamamoto. Excuse me, I have somewhere important. She left them sputtering. Jerome's van waited. 17 metaphorical throats cut. How are you? Terrified. Keisha handed her a breakfast sandwich. Optimal pre-court nutrition. The courthouse was grim. Jerome's ex-in-laws, Denise and Robert Clayton, were there with 3 lawyers. I see you brought support, Denise said coolly. I'm Anita Chen, representing Mr. Washington. Anita materialized with her team. In Judge Martinez's chambers, the Claytons' lawyer painted concerned grandparents, overwhelmed father, modest income, unsuitable neighborhood. Furthermore, Mr. Washington involved himself in federal investigation that could have endangered children. Mr. Washington assisted authorities preventing crime, Anita countered. Victoria stood. I could offer testimony. And you are? Victoria Ashford, CEO Ashford Adaptive Technologies, the victim Mr. Washington helped. I've observed Mr. Washington with his children. Marcus is a coding prodigy. Keisha reads medical textbooks for fun. Elijah's thriving with a man who isn't even biological father, but loves him absolutely. You've known them 24 hours, Davidson said dismissively, and seen more genuine parenting than in some families over years. A father ensuring they're always safe, supervised, loved. Children need more than love. They need opportunities. Denise interrupted. Like schools that wanted Marcus in special ed despite genius intelligence because they couldn't see past autism? Marcus stood suddenly. My grandparents think I'm broken. Dad just calls me Marcus. When I can't stop stimming, he doesn't make me normal. Asks if I need headphones. When I hyper-focus 12 hours, he brings snacks, reminds me humans need bathrooms. They want to send me where I'll hide autism. Dad's teaching me to use it. I'm not broken. I'm different. Keisha stood. I want to be doctor because I watched Dad keep us together after Mom died. He taught healing isn't about perfect. It's showing up when hard. Judge Martinez took notes. Mr. Clayton? We want what's best. You want what looks best, Jerome said quietly. My kids aren't accessories. Marcus will change the world because of autism. Keisha will save lives. Understanding healing requires science and heart. Elijah will know he was chosen, loved, not despite being born addicted, but because every child deserves chances. I'm not perfect. Tired, stress cook, bring kids to work, but I show up every day. Judge Martinez closed her notebook. Case dismissed. Mr. Washington is exemplary father. Outside, Anita handed Jerome her card. If they try anything, call. Pro bono. Ms. Ashford covered my retainer 10 years. You didn't have to. Your family saved me. Gave me reason to fight for all kids told they need to be different. Are you marrying Dad? Keisha asked. Keisha. Logical question. She fits parameters. Intelligent, kind, understands needs, makes Dad smile. Should probably take him to dinner first, Victoria said. Dinner's inefficient. Just move in, Marcus said. Van. Now. Before you propose merger and acquisition, Jerome said. Walking to the van, Richard called. Board voted. You're out. Emergency vote. Abandoning meeting showed lack of commitment. That's illegal. Preston's released on bail, filing defamation. Board wants you to step aside. Victoria stood frozen, her company gone. What's wrong? Jerome asked. She told them. Marcus pulled up law. Keisha plotted revenge. Unacceptable, Jerome said. We unvote them. He called Harrison, then chefs across the city. Marcus mobilized online disability community. Keisha called contacts. Within an hour, #JusticeForVictoria trending. Chateau Blanc reservations canceled. Investors threatened pulling funding, but Elijah delivered the killing blow. Marcus's video of him kissing Victoria's bruise went viral. By 3 p.m., Richard called. "Board reconsidered. You're reinstated. Not enough. I want your resignation. New board elected by employees and users. Discrimination means termination." "Fine." "We won," Victoria told them. "Of course." "We're us," Keisha said. 6 months later, Victoria stood in the first fully adaptive restaurant, joint venture between her company and Jerome's vision. Every surface adjustable, adaptive grips, multiple menu formats. Marcus led coding workshops for autistic teens. His programs became foundation for new communication apps. Keisha explained to medical students how adaptive technology integrated patient care. Elijah toddled between tables, official greeter. "Times wants profile on power couple," Jerome said. "We're not a couple," Victoria said, though they'd dated 5 months. "About that." Jerome pulled out a device box. Inside, custom servo assist band engraved, "Will you join our perfectly imperfect family?" J, M, K, and E, quote, "You proposed with adaptive technology," quote. Keisha said diamond's inefficient when you need romance and functionality. Marcus ran probability, 87% yes based on patterns, Keisha added. What about 13%? Chaos theory margin, Marcus called. Check tonight's security feed. Every camera showed, "Say yes, love your family." You hacked my system to propose? Technically, Marcus hacked. I provided emotional support and cooking. Victor ya marry daddy? Elijah asked. She looked at this family that chose her without reservation, saw her imperfect pieces as parts of perfect whole. Yes. The restaurant erupted. Everyone had been waiting. "I love you," Jerome said softly. "Don't talk. Just listen." And in their restaurant, surrounded by perfectly imperfect family, they listened to the sound of belonging. Orders called, code written, medical terms practiced, toddler giggles off adaptive surfaces. Different wasn't broken. It was beautiful. Marcus's probability was wrong. It wasn't 87% chance. It had always been 100%.